I am going to talk about my second part of presentation, that is common adulterants in different foods, part 2. Dear students, myself Dr. Digna Varghese. Contents of the presentation: adulteration in cereals, tea powder, coffee powder, beverages. Cereals. Adulteration in cereals is discussed here. Test 1: detection of extraneous matter, that is dust, pebble, stone, straw, wheat seeds, damaged grain, weevilled grain, insects, rodent hair and excreta in food grains. Testing method: take a small quantity of the sample in a glass plate. Examine the impurities visually. Pure food grains will not have any such impurities. That is, in the first picture we can see the pure food grains or cereals. Impurities are observed visually in unadulterated food grains. In the second picture we can see directly with our eye the adulterated one from the pure one. These may be examined visually to see the foreign matter, that is damaged grains, discolored grains, any pebbles or stones or insects, rodent contamination, etc. Damaged or discolored grains should be as low as possible since they may be affected by fungal toxins, argemone seeds, datura seeds, etc. In moderately, the excessive amount of these types of extraneous matter present in the food grains that can result in risk to health. So discard the damaged, undesirable grains and the extraneous matter before use. Test 2: the detection of datura in food grains. Testing method is that in the first step, take a small quantity of the food grains in a glass plate. Examine the impurities visually. We can see directly from this the black seeds are datura seeds. Datura seeds, which are flat with edges and blackish brown in color, can be separated out by close examination. Impurities are observed visually in adulterated food grains. Datura seeds are obtained from the Datura stramonium, which is also known as Jimson weed, is an aggressive invasive weed in temperate climates across the world. Detection of excess bran in wheat flour. Bran is also known as miller's bran, is the hard outer layers of cereal grain. It consists of the combined aileron and pericarp. Along with germ, it is an integral part of the whole grains and is often produced as a byproduct of milling in the production of refined grains. So, how we can detect the excess of bran in wheat flour? Take a transparent glass of water, sprinkle a spoon of wheat flour on the surface of water. Pure wheat flour will not show excess bran on the water surface. The bran adulterated wheat flour will show excess bran on the surface of the water. These impurities are observed visually in adulterated food grains. This is excess bran in wheat flour. Here it is in this picture we can see the pure wheat flour. Detection of kesri dal in dal whole and split. Take a small amount of dal whole or split in a glass plate. Examine the impurities visually. Kesri dal has edged type appearance, showing a slant on one side and square in appearance, can be separated out by close examination. Pure dal will not have any such impurities. Test 5. Detection of added color in food grains. Testing method is like that. Take a transparent glass of water, add 2 teaspoons of food grains and mix thoroughly. Pure food grains will not leave any color, but adulterated mixed food grains leaves the color immediately in water. We can see directly from this picture, the adulterated one is leave the color immediately in water. Test 6. The detection of turmeric in Sella rice. Sella rice is a type of basmati rice. The testing method is that take a teaspoon of rice in a glass plate, sprinkle a small amount of lime, that is calcium hydroxide, on the rice grains. Pure grains will not form red color. The adulterated grains will form red color. Test 7. Detection of rhodamine B in ragi. Rhodamine B is a chemical compound and acts as a dye. That structure is shown here. The testing method is that take a cotton ball soaked in water or vegetable oil, rub the outer surface of the ragi taken in a bowl. If cotton absorbs color, then it indicates that adulteration of rhodamine B for coloring the outer surface of ragi. This picture shows that it is a pure ragi that is not adulterated with rhodamine B dye. Test 8. The detection of chagunda beans in pulses. The plant of chagunda beans is shown here. This is the picture of the chagunda beans. It is mixed with pulses and that pulses is adulterated. The testing method is like that. Take a small quantity of the pulses in a transparent glass plate. Examine the impurities visually. Chagunda beans can be separated out by close examination. Almost all parts of the plant are used as food and medicine by the tribal populations in India. However, consumption of banana chagunda seeds has been identified as a possible cause of death of tribal children due to acute encephalopathy. That means a disease or any disorder caused to the brain that will ultimately lead to death. Incredulous as it may sound, an expert committee at the Bhubaneswar by the state government said consumption of Beda chagunda seeds led to death of most children in Malkangiri district and not by the Japanese encephalitis outbreak. So many pulses are adulterated with chagunda beans. It is a common plant. Almost all parts of the plant are used as food and medicine in tribal populations in India, but it can cause death. Test 9. Detection of sand, soil, insects, webs, lumps, rodent hair and excreta in atta, maida, suji, rava. Testing method, this can be identified by visual examination. We can see the pure atta or any flour here, but we can see the adulterated one with sand or soil or insects, rodent hair, excreta we can see in the second picture. Test for the detection of exhausted tea in tea leaves. First method is take a filter paper and spread few tea leaves. Sprinkle with water to wet the filter paper. Wash the filter paper under tap water and observe the stains against light. Pure tea leaves will not stain the filter paper, but if any coal tar is present or coal tar dye is present in that tea leaves, it will immediately stain the filter paper. Test method 2. Take a small amounts of tea leaves or dust and place it in the center of a filter paper. Add water drop by drop at the heap of the tea leaves or dust. If the tea is adulterated with a colored tea, water will dissolve the added color and tea and leave the streak of color in the filter paper that we can see here. In the pure one, there is no colored in the filter paper, but adulterated one leave the color in the filter paper. Test method 3. Spread a little slaked lime on white porcelain tile or a glass plate, that is calcium hydroxide. Sprinkle a little tea dust on the lime. Red, orange or other shades of color spreading on the lime will show the presence of coal tar color. In case of genuine tea, there will be only a slight greenish yellow color due to chlorophyll, which will appear after some time. These are the tests used for the detection of exhausted tea in tea leaves. Test 4. Detection of iron fillings in tea leaves. Steps involved in this method is: take small quantity of tea leaves in a glass plate. Move the magnet through the tea leaves. Pure tea leaves will not show any iron fillings on the magnet. If the adulterated one with the iron fillings will be seen on the magnet. Test 1 for the detection of clay in coffee powder. The testing method is: add half teaspoon of coffee powder in a transparent glass water. Stir for a minute and keep it aside for 5 minutes. Observe the glass at the bottom. Pure coffee powder will not leave any clay particles at the bottom. If the coffee powder is adulterated with clay particles, the clay particles will settle down at the bottom. Test 2. The detection of chicory powder in coffee powder. That is the most common adulterant used in coffee. Testing method is: take a transparent glass of water, add a teaspoon of coffee powder. Coffee powder floats over the water, but chicory begins to sink. This figure shows the adulterated coffee powder. This is the pure coffee powder. Beverages. A drink or a beverage is a liquid intended for human consumption. In addition to their basic function of satisfying thirst, drinks play important roles in human culture. Common types of drinks include plain drinking water, milk, coffee, tea, hot chocolate. Sleep drinks. Sleep drinks means a small alcohol drink or a hot cup of milk that you can have before you go to sleep, that will induce a good night's sleep. Juice and soft drinks. Hot drinks such as coffee, hot chocolate and tea are also come under beverages. We are already discussed adulteration in milk and milk products, and also coffee powder and tea powder. Now one adulterant, that is melamine, added to increase the apparent protein content of milk. That is an adulterant used in to increase the protein content of milk. In addition, alcoholic drinks such as wine, cider, beer, spirits and liquor, which contain the drug ethanol, have been a part of human culture for more than 8,000 years. Adulterated alcoholic beverages are legal alcoholic products that have been illicitly tampered with, or for instance by criminally diluting them with water, purposely putting them into new containers to conceal their true origin, or adding toxic substance to manipulate the qualities of alcoholic beverages. The adulteration of alcoholic beverages may not only be conducted to increase the alcoholic strength by using cheaper sources of sugar and starch besides grapes or fruit, so-called chaptalization, sometimes combined with watering down, but also to increase the perceived or apparent quality of the product. The law only allows certain ingredients for beer making: water, barley malt, hops, and yeast for bottom fermented beers. Due to the previously common adulteration with various ingredients such as cheaper oat malt and poisonous plants instead of hops. Hop, the flower of hop plant is shown here. Hops are the flowers of the hop plant, Humulus lupulus. They are used primarily as a bittering, flavoring, and stability agent in beer, to which, in addition to bitterness, they impart floral, fruity, or citrus flavors and aromas. Adulteration of beer with the strychnine also. Strychnine is an alkaloid. Strychnine, when present, may be detected by the following process. The suspected powder is to be moistened with a drop of undiluted sulfuric acid and a few fragments of bichromate of potash added. An intense, beautiful violet color immediately appears at the points of contact, which quickly spreads through the whole fluid, and after a few minutes again vanishes. Wine fraud or wine adulteration relates to the commercial aspects of wine. The most prevalent type of fraud is one where wines are adulterated, usually with the addition of cheaper products, example fruit juices, and sometimes with harmful chemicals and sweeteners. One of the sweetener is diethylene glycol was added to wine to increase the sweetness. That is, the adulterated wine contains this one. Adding water to wine, that is another adulteration method. Label fraud, if we are using a branded wine with a branded wine's label with a fraud wine. One of the most dangerous forms of wine fraud is when producers add hazardous materials such as lead to acetate, that is used as a sweetening agent, that is sugar of lead, diethylene glycol, and methanol to wine in order to increase the sweetness. Some chemicals may be used to mask other wine faults and unpleasant aroma. That's all about the adulteration. We have seen the adulteration in milk and milk products, coffee powder, tea powder, cereals, chili powder, and in some beverages. So adulteration is a big crime. To sum up, adulteration is a very serious problem posing serious health risks to many in India. In every product there is adulteration. Starting from our daily groceries, it moves on to our life-saving medicines also. The sinners have not spared even infants' milk products. Food is one of the basic necessities for sustenance of life. Pure, fresh, and healthy diet is most essential for health of the people. It is no wonder to say community health is national wealth. Thank you for your attention.